Question for you. What if the only limits that you face are the limits that you set for yourself? Well, the truth is the only limits you do have are the limits that you set and you accept for yourself. Let's go back a couple of hundred years to a British philosopher named John Locke. John Locke postulated, he said that we are born tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means blank slate. Now let's go back a couple of thousand years to Aristotle. Aristotle said, give me a child until the age of 8 and I will own them for a lifetime. Now what Aristotle meant was, and this is what modern science knows, cognitive science, psychology, etc., is that we literally, until about the age of 8 years old, the brain is not formed in a particular way so that we can be analytical. As we get older, like right now, you're watching this video, you're analyzing, you're thinking about it, and you're having thoughts in your mind about it. Until we're about 8 years old, we don't have that ability to be analytical, meaning we don't think analytically as very small children. So whatever is said to us as a very small child, whatever it might be for you, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're stupid, you're lazy, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're good at math, you're bad at math, you can dance, you can't dance, doesn't matter. All these limitations you learned as a very small child. And then what happens is you forget that you learned the limitations, and then you live these limitations for a lifetime. So many of us go through our entire lifetime living from limitations and all these things that keep us trapped, but we learn these things as a kid, but we don't even know we learned them as a kid because they became part of what I call our subconscious identity. They become a part of who we are. Now, many people watching videos like this are always striving for more. They're wanting to create more. They're wanting more money, better health, better relationships. They're trying mantras, and what many people do is they're trying to work on their beliefs. You hear the motivational speakers saying it all the time, beliefs, 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 beliefs. The shaman that I work with taught me many years ago that beliefs are archaic. Now, what I mean by that is it's not a matter of working on your beliefs to become unlimited. Here's what it's a matter of. Before I tell you what it's a matter of, I want to take you on a little journey here. I want to actually use a metaphor. When you go on vacation, let's say that you hop on an airplane and you fly somewhere and you go on vacation. When you go on vacation, you also get a rental car. You take your rental car, you're driving around, you're sightseeing, having a good time, enjoying the food, whatever you're doing in a particular country, wherever you are on vacation. Then when your vacation is done, you take your rental car back to the airport, you drop it off, and you go home. What if that's a metaphor for being human? So what if this? What if you being born on the planet is like, so to speak, going on vacation? You're born onto this planet. You have this body, which is your rental car. You literally drive this rental car around for a lifetime. And then when it's time to go home, you drop the rental car off and you go home. Well, that's just like on vacation. You drive the rental car, you drop it off, and you go home. So when you're born onto this planet, you get the rental car, your body, you drive it around, you live in it, you drop it off, and you go home. Question for you is, where were you before you got here? Where were you before you incarnated on this planet? Before you incarnated on this planet, you were non-physical, you were unlimited power, you were a reflection of divine mind, source, quantum field, quantum dimension, whatever you want to call it. You can even call it God, whatever it is that you want to call it, but that's where you came from before you incarnated on this planet. Now, as such, being a reflection of source, divine mind, quantum field, whatever you want to call it, that is unlimited power. Unlimited power, hence unlimited, doesn't have limitations. All of your limitations were created by the socialization on this planet. You go to school, your teachers correct you, your teachers tell you you're good at this, you're bad at that, you're this kind of student, you're that kind of student. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, friends, clergy, church, whatever it might be, all this socialization takes your power away. Why? Because you forgot where you were before you got here. You forgot, who and what you were before you got into your body, the rental car. So then what you identify with is the rental car, but you're not the rental car. You are the driver of the rental car. And that driver is from divine source, divine mind, quantum field, God, whatever you want to call it. And that driver is quite literally unlimited in power. Therefore, every limitation that you have on this planet is a self-imposed limitation, part of your subconscious identity that has been imposed upon you by being socialized on this planet, which, in my opinion, I mean this kindly, but overall, it's a planet of mediocrity when it comes to collective thinking. Don't believe me? Look at what we do to the air, the land, the water, other people. We literally work from a place of mediocrity, lack, not understanding our power, and no awareness of ourselves. So the question isn't about beliefs and limitations and how to become unlimited, any of that. Let's go beyond that. The question is, how do I have awareness of my being before I ever got in the rental car? How do I have awareness about the true nature of me and my being? What I tell people is this, is many people will say they are spiritual beings. Most people say they're human beings. Many people say they are spiritual beings, but many people turn spirituality also into dogma, and they define themselves by their dogma, which is their spirituality. Let's go a step beyond that. I asked you a bit ago, where were you before you got here? Where I work from is that I am a cosmic being, meaning I came from somewhere in the universe before I incarnated. I am a cosmic being currently having a human experience. I've come to know that. I don't just believe it, I know that at a soulful level. And when we recognize that we are first and foremost cosmic beings having a human experience, that right there removes or starts to remove a lot of the limitations that we have that we've inherited by virtue of being born onto this planet. I've worked with a real shaman now for 28 years. And every year, and I didn't understand this for a lot of years, every year he would only hug me more than once during the year, but every year we'd gather for New Year's. And every year he would say, I hope you know yourself better this year than you knew yourself last year. And in the early years, I used to think, well, I hope I know me, this container, this bag of skin, this identity better this year. No, that's not what he meant. What he meant is know the true nature of yourself. The true nature of yourself is divine. The true nature of yourself is that we are all unlimited, but we become limited once we incarnate in the body. So, however you need to do it for you, whether you meditate on it, whether you go on a spiritual journey, a medicine wheel, whatever it might be for you, step aside from the ego that's been fabricated, that you've created over a lifetime. Take that ego. Imagine you can take that ego and put it aside. Who would you be without that ego? How would you show up differently? What would you do differently? And mainly, how would you be different if you knew that you were an unlimited being from source? How would you be different? And you might have heard me say before, if you've ever followed me before or listened to any of my content, be to have. You must be before you can do, before you can have. Many human beings live as human beings. What I'm talking about is, what does it even mean to be? Because see, you are a being from divine mind, from source, quantum dimension, quantum field, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. You are a cosmic, infinite energy being. And when you identify with that and you own that and you come to know that and you realize that it's natural for you to actually exercise that power, then you can obviously be anything that you want in life. If you like this video, hit the like button, and I look forward to seeing you on other videos. Bye-bye.